Once you've decided on a topic that you want to go ahead and create a website about, the next step is finding an available domain name. So go ahead and start brainstorming out some ideas. Try to come up with as many as you possibly can, in case your first or second choice is unavailable when you go to try to purchase it. Once you've put that list together, you're going to want to go to GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy is a place where you can find the available domain names and purchase and register the domain name. It's #1 in domain name registrations, and as a site flipper, you will constantly find yourself here. And in the next lesson, we will actually give you a discount code that you can use over and over again on any .com purchase you make. So I am going to go ahead and use the dog training niche as an example. And once you have that list put together, you could come here and you could go to the Start Your Domain Name search, and you could try, typing in your ideas one at a time. But that would be time consuming, so we're going to go ahead and skip that, go up to domains and down to bulk domain name registration. Once you click on that, it's going to bring up a search box that will allow you to enter up to 500 possible domain name ideas. Before you get started, I recommend coming over here and checking .com. By doing that, anything that you put in the box is going to only search for the available .com extension. The reason being is buyers on Flippa seem really drawn to domain names with a .com extension versus anything else. You will occasionally see, a .net or a .org available for sale on Flippa, and it occasionally may sell very well. As a general rule, most of our success has been with .com domain names. So in this box, I am just going to go ahead and type out a couple domain names. I have Dog Training Guide, Train Dogs, Train My Dog, The Dog Trainer, and Dog Training Helper. Now I'm purposely putting in domain names that I know are unavailable, just so you can see what the process is like when the domain name that you want is unavailable. You don't have to type .com after any of these because you've already selected the .com feature, so that's the only extension it's going to search for. And you'll also notice that these have the words dog and training in them. When you're choosing a domain name, buyers really like it when it's very relatable to what the content of the website is. So I'm going to go ahead and hit search, and as you can see, this error popped up. And anytime a domain name is already owned by someone else, you'll see this error. It'll say dogtrainingguide.com is unavailable and has been removed. And sometimes even if you enter in 20 or 30 domain names, you could still run into this problem if you're working with a really popular niche. So at times it can get frustrating and you can't think of any more relative domain names. So in that case, when that happens, try a website called suggest.name. And what suggest.name does is it lets you put in a prefix, which would be the keywords such as dog training in this case, or dogs and train or training, and it lets you take the keywords that you want to include in the site, and it lets you pick a suffix. And by suffix, they have all these categories of word endings. And to start with, I'm going to do Web 2.0 words. You can see what I'm talking about. It has blab, buzz, just a predetermined group of words, and it's going to take the words that you've selected, and it's going to mix it in with the suffix that they provided when you hit combine. And as you can see, it's come up with 45 results. They're not always going to be wonderful. Sometimes they're going to be not really applicable, but it's just something to kind of get you going and get you back on track finding the domain name. And just because they're here doesn't necessarily mean that they are available either. So what you're going to do is select this list, copy it out, and go back to the search box in GoDaddy and paste it in. And then hit search. And as you can see, a lot of them are unavailable, but this time we are actually left with domain names that are available. So for instance, we have Dog Training Blab, we have Dogs Buzz, Dog Zoom. Like I said, they are not always applicable to your niche content, so it's just trial and error. But you can leave these here, and then you can always go back to suggest.name if you don't like any of them, and simply just by changing out the suffix, say this time I will try friends. It keeps your prefix. You can always go in and you could add another word, and just by hitting combine, it's going to bring you a new set of results that you can select, copy out, and go back to GoDaddy, and just by hitting enter you can add it to the bottom of the list. Again, select .com and hit search, and anything that's left in the white box is domain names that are available. So this is just a pointer to go ahead and get you familiar with the brainstorming process. And the end result is going to be just picking, what you think your favorite domain is. Something that has good keywords and something that, really gets the point across of what the website's about. So after scanning through, in this situation, I would go with dogtrainingpath.com. And that is how you come up with finding an available domain name.